Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. I sometimes daydream that I could jump in a time machine and travel into the future. And the reason for that is that I've lost my patience with how society is changing for the better. I mean, it's in many ways it's heading in the right direction, but very slowly. And for example, I quit drinking soda 22 years ago. 22 years ago, not drinking soda at a party instantly made you like a criminal. And we've very slowly transitioned away from that. To give you an idea how slow the transition is, if you asked me what year did you feel comfortable not drinking soda out in public, I couldn't give you an answer. It was a very slow transition. It's kind of like aging. You don't say I grew old on such and such day of the year, right? No, so you're old now. You were young, right? And unfortunately, it's very painfully slow. When I got off the plane in Taiwan during this trip and last trip as well, I felt like I stepped into the future. There's not a whole lot of prejudice for being single here in Taiwan. For example, I could almost, I almost thought about it. If I were to find a job here in Taiwan, I could live in this hostel pretty much indefinitely. Good luck trying to do that in the United States, right? In the United States, a single person almost has to spend as much as a couple for housing because any other arrangement is just looked down upon. If you lived in this place in the United States for more than a month, the federal government would consider you as a homeless individual. If you live with your parents, I think if you're 26 or older and you live with your parents, the federal government considers you homeless. And I don't know why. Why? If that's the living arrangement, if your parents agree with you living like that, if you find a hostel that agrees with you living in there long term, why is that considered any different? For that matter, if you love where you live on the street or in your car, why does the federal government need to make judgment calls about that? I don't understand. I don't. I was at a speed dating event here in Taiwan, and I learned that the because it's considerably pricey to go regularly, right? And I was asking, I saw somebody there 3 times. I asked, well, how much are you spending on this? Like, is there a membership like pricing? Like, if I want to come here for like 6 months or so, I thought that's what he did. He told me that his employer paid for it. And so I'm like, gee, back home in the US, I don't get any benefits for being single. I mean, I get hell every time I even bring up the possibility of even a small benefit, like having some meal plan just so I could eat at the dining halls and potentially network with other instructors. Oh my God, I almost got fired for asking for that. And your employer's paying not only for the speed dating event, but he also got some kind of dating services and coaching. Ah, I'm sure there will come a day when Maricopa colleges will offer such benefits to singles. The day will probably come. I probably won't be alive at that point, which is why I need that time machine. Well, I have two ways of approximating that time. Obviously, I can travel somewhere that has already traveled to the future, and also I can keep my body healthy so that I can live for that time machine. Although that comes with its own can of worms, right? A lot of times, part of the reason dating is tricky for me is that I look very young for my age, or more accurately, Americans look too old for their age. And so people think I'm lying when I say I have a PhD, when I claim to have all this experience under my belt. And sometimes I have to actually lie about my age just so people think I'm telling the truth about my age. And then I get shadow banned from dating sites. I don't know if I did, but and I don't know. But and then obviously my I have very differences in my experience. So I really have three different ages. There's the age that shows up on my driver's license, which I don't pay any heed to. That doesn't mean anything in my opinion. There's my intellectual age, and then there's my physical body age, and all three of them are just wildly diverging from one another, making both dating life and workplace life very tricky. Right? I'll let you imagine how tricky it could be if right? All right. Anyways, I need to travel to the future. A lot of times, part of the reason that I choose the investments that I do, right? Strategic metals, emerging market stocks, those are very long horizon investments, is because I live my life like I would have another 200 years because I need to do it that way. I need to see the future. And so I'm placing all of my eggs in that basket. I don't know if this is wise or not, but you know what? If something were to happen and to me tomorrow, so what? Something could have happened anyway, even if I invested in the more traditional way anyway, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.